Okay, let's try this. Okay, it's downloaded now. Good. Good. Pretty cool up here. Ooh. Where is it? Okay, so the chief has sent me to Jones' residence. Julie is there with full details. Okay, start image. Okay, so the chief has a twin exploit system while Dr. Morris and so the chief has sent me to the Jones residence. Julie is there with full details. mouse and wonderful. After to slightly the detective, you shouldn't have sneaking around like that. You sneaking around taking the phone, really. You watched me try that. Dot, dot, dot. I had my siren on. Dot, dot, dot. You think that I pulled in. Dot, dot, dot. I guess this place has me spooked out a room. So what happened here, Chief? Scared. I just called me up and told me to get to ASAP. No details. 7 or 4 hours spent most of the day I mean, we see Detective, fix something. I called the Okay, that's all I need. That's Detective Francis McQueen. Mr. Jones is here to investigate. I see Twin Lakes Fire State. Hope you don't smoke around a kid. Thankfully, Detective, I'm rarely around my kid. So how can I help you, Detective? Why didn't you know she was missing or was out? I love cliche. Have you got an alibi? Or Jones, where I was none of your business, Detective. My taxes pay your salary. Detective McQueen says they also pay for the assault and questioning. I'm going to have Julie here take you to find call this number. They'll vouch for me. Mostly Bell's buoy and class free stuff. Bell's fond memories. We should be where was he at Bell's shop? Tell me about Alice. I love the woman says, I love with you, Detective. I don't have many dealings with her. She has the conversation pool. For McQueen says she's 7. Or Jones says exactly a treacherous age, so I believe that you, Nanny, she's around here somewhere. As Dr. McQueen says, I've taken up enough of your time. Or Jones says, and I have nothing further to say. The detective kindly leave. Maybe. Dr. McQueen, nice sooner. Officer Dooley says, haha, you dummy. It's not a schooner, it's a sailboat. Dr. McQueen, a schooner is a sailboat, Dooley. Oh, these folks must be annoying. A schooner. This reminds me of my own grandfather. Okay, I'm gonna read the names of the people Officer Dooley, your grandfather was a clock. Detective McQueen says, what? No, he had a clock. Officer Dooley says, shame, I thought I'd finally found out something interesting about you. Detective McQueen says, what? I'm interesting. Officer Dooley says, whatever you say, detective. Officer Dooley says, does it seem odd you have that these folks don't have a kitchen or bathroom? Detective McQueen says, the recession hit us all hard, Dooley. Detective McQueen says, one of those pistols is worth more than we get paid a year. Officer Dooley says, we could take one. Detective McQueen, ... Officer Dooley says, you passed the corruption test. Well done, detective. ... Detective McQueen says, these are from Wesley Bell's boutique. This kid doesn't win out of the fire stakes. It's going to take a while. Detective McQueen says, a black light bulb. May as well take it. Officer says, not all we need to. Here's a disc for the wall, some light bulbs, and fat beats. Then we've got ourselves a good night. Detective McQueen says, a good night is finding the kiss cave. You've seen that on Blacklight. Detective McQueen says, a blacklight bulb for blacklighting things. Detective McQueen says, all the other junk is useless junk. Did you... Detective McQueen says, did you follow me into this closet? Officer Dooley says, you may have needed backup. Detective McQueen, ... Machine, tap dead, down. Detective McQueen walked, ... Wonder where I'd find the key, ... Are you free to help? Officer Dewey says, hey, are you free to help all people? My sister's house this weekend. Officer Dewey says, I can do the first floor, but I need somebody to hold the wall while I do the second. Detective McQueen says, I think she means the inside rooms. Officer says, really? Thank goodness. I was not looking forward to the wallpaper in that roof. Detective McQueen, a place this fancy to serve something nicer than plastic flowers. What an old place for Detective McQueen says, what an old place for a telephone. Detective Officer Dewey says they must have run out of places to draw a mean portrait. Oh, Detective McQueen, tell me where she is, Bayer. Detective McQueen says, I'm only kidding. You don't know. You're only a bear. Detective McQueen, a stupid, no, nothing bear. Okay. And you have to find home. And Joan says she just disappeared. My baby. Okay, yes. And Joan says, my baby, my baby, my baby's gone. Good. And Joan says, find your. Dr. McQueen says, I don't have much for a dozen pink socks. Officer says, this is a lot of pink. I think I have to run off too. Officer says, I've never seen a horse with 5 legs before. Detective McQueen says a drawing of our suspect. Officer says, really? I'll put out an APB. Detective McQueen says, no, Dooley, don't do that. Officer, hey, I know what that tree. Hey, I know that tree. It $5. Okay. Officer says, this is no time for all detective. Detective McQueen says, black light. This looks useful. Detective McQueen says, the label says for use on a black light. Officer says, that name is beautiful. Ask her if she's single. You know, as part of the investigation. Okay. Detective McQueen says she seems like a sweet kid. Officer says, don't worry, we'll find her, detective. Detective McQueen says, hard to believe this is the same woman we spoke to. The stress of all this has her. fancy. Dr. McQueen says, looks like something has been kicked on here. Nanny Fellman says, no, it doesn't. You seem to know. Detective McQueen says, it's a particular pound from the Oscar for Dunn's book. So we got matches. Got black light bulb, black light marker, and strange page. Turn her eyes. Nathan, she swore and sticks to her nose where it doesn't belong. Nathan says, but that's what having four super rich parents would do to you, I guess. What is a nanny doing for the mass in the master's bedroom? As the put says, nothing suspicious, that's for sure. No, sorry. How long have you been working for the Joneses? Oscar says, Jones's Detective, even though it ends with an S, you still realize it. Technically, it's not really the best one. Oscar says, it's always a good time for him. Technically says, anyway, answer the question. Need phone calling no to Barbara say your opinion. Nathan says the very innocent nanny, yes. Dr. McQueen says, do you keys for the various rooms? Nathan says, I am a nanny, not a maid. Dr. McQueen says, why, but do you? Nathan says, yes. Dr. McQueen says, may I have the key to the study then? Nathan says, sure, there's nothing incriminating in there anyway. You should have a study key. Good. Dr. McQueen says, we're done here for now. Nathan, I'll get back to your work and nothing else. She absolutely. She may be the innocent one. Detective McQueen says Alice and her mom look quite happy here. Officer Dewey says seems impolite to go rifling around somebody's drawers uninvited. That's illegal. Doing that. Detective McQueen says just a bunch of forgotten memories. Detective McQueen says the paint now fell when the shelf gave way. How much left in it now? Paint fell. Detective McQueen says sauce paint, markers, and oil residues. So you can take away the oil. McQueen says, and hey, Professor, we're in. Hey, Officer says, hey, I just realized that there are only 2 seats in this entire house. Detective McQueen says, don't be Giraffe Dooley. There are more. They were just off camera. Officer says, you can never trust a man who owns too many books. That's what I would say to that. Detective McQueen says, how many books are too many? Officer Dooley says, ... 6? Question. Detective McQueen says, and how many books do you own? Question. Officer Dooley says, ... Officer says, I don't feel comfortable with this line of question. ... Detective McQueen says, this statue is ugly enough to be worth a lot of cash. Detective McQueen says, a nice collection of books. The dust suggests they've not been looked at in some time for shame. Officer says, his magazines collection. Geez, this guy is obsessed with drugs. Detective McQueen says, Roy Jones inquired, it takes a certain type of perspective of a person to have an oral painting of themselves. Detective McQueen says, an oil lantern seems to have some oil left too. Who's using our lantern? Detective McQueen, an oil lantern seems to have some oil left too. Okay, I'm gonna go up the stairs. I'm gonna go back to Eric. Hmm. Detective McQueen says, I should probably light this thing, just in case. You see the lit lantern. I put the matches and the lantern together. Okay, let's go back to the bag. Back to the closet. Hmm. Detective Princess. Witnesses. Let go. To now. Still with it. Okay, so do something. Thanks for the princess. I can't help would look out of place in the fancy chandelier. Mm-hmm. Princess, I could draw us onto the boat, but I don't see the point. The paint, Daniel says. Director McQueen says, "Nah, I like boats too much again to melt this one." Princess, I intend that's right. White is a jewel on the painting, a black nickel, but I'm too much of a pro for that. I was Christmas Princess, I don't like the painting, but I've no reason to ruin it. black light on it. So now we're here, but it says Detective McQueen says, okay, I seem to have everything I need. Let's get down to some spooky hijinks and redraw those missing symbols. Let's see. Let's see. So I do get one, it's just okay with it. So that's it. With the queen says that should be it. If the queen says great, great question mark. After says maybe now it's a good time to start doing what nothing was. The queen says even I'm not fortunate enough to go in there with no light. I'm dragging the lit panel to the door. Detective McQueen says, okay, Dooley, let's do this. Says a box marked babies for skirt robes. Detective McQueen says there seems to be a maniac giggling on the other side. I'm glad this door seems secure. Detective McQueen says the label says Old Milk Sokia 18A. Why would you store that? Palestine says don't look for more. Mister. That's where the three-eyed someone else says hello, Mister. Detective McQueen says hello, kiddo. Alice says, are you here to take me home? Detective McQueen says yep. Alice says good. I'm hungry and the sounds from downstairs are scaring me. The queen says, yeah, let's get out of here. Then, the queen says, where's Dooley? Nathan says, that is question. I knocked him out. I can't have you snooping on him, so I'm going to trap you here. Detective says, always take the goal. Nathan says, I intend to unfold the law. After all, it's my job to look after her, especially if anything should happen to her parents. Nathan says, say, for example, they're getting trapped in the dark side version of their bedroom. Nature says it's where they'd be now if Alice hadn't gone into my stuff and stupidly trapped herself here. That I figured it'd be best to lay low until you have gone. I thought you have given up on me. They probably give up a new enjoy. This says mostly TLPD. Detective Princess sadly fair. So that's what this is. Restaurant and entrance scheme. You have to know. And it says you have to know. And it's very perfect. Detective Princess it is not actually that. Even if you do get rid of me, then then what? Question. The fake McQueen says Alice knows what you're up to. .com. She's a smart kid. Nathan says if she's so smart, she'll know to keep her mouth shut! Exclamation point. Once Julie wakes up, you and your scheme will be done for that. Nathan, good point. I'll just have to get you to drag him in here with you. Come on. Okay, drag your friend here. I know Frank was smart. Nurse says, I'm scared, Mr. Everything says it'll be okay, girl. Everything says I can't go back to I'll have to go and get something else in place. Everything says I know those handcuffs were heavy enough to make someone double up. Everything says I knew those handcuffs Detective McQueen says, "Soon." And McQueen says, "Have a taste of your own medicine." No. Milk, 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 milk. But Detective McQueen says, "Okay, that's a problem solved." Exclamation point. The McQueen says, "Come on, Alice. Let's wake up Dewey so I can tell him my plan. Pretend it's the first time you heard, okay? Okay, question mark. Says, dot, dot, dot. Okay, Mr. Dot, dot, dot. Officer Dooley says, so the kid got into the name stuff and accidentally used it to trap herself, and that's creepy, question mark. Detective Queen says, the dark side, but that's a surprisingly succinct summary of things. Yes, the officer says Shan, the name was certificate. She was a local. Dr. McQueen says during she was dabbling into the dark arts. Dot, dot, dot. Dr. McQueen says dot, dot, dot. With a plan to trap innocent people in a parallel world. Dot, dot. Dr. McQueen says dot, dot, dot. You're not there, kid. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot. Dr. McQueen says and dot, dot, dot. And still all the cash. Exclamation point. Officer says it said it was going to shame. It was a shame. I said it was a shame, comma, jeez, exclamation point. Vulcan princess, dot, dot, dot. Wonder where the news got the awkward books from anyone, question mark. That stuff is hard to find these days, dot, dot, dot. Vulcan princess, a case for another day, I guess, dot. The Queen says, first of all, we have to figure out what kind of paper covers this mess. Dot, dot, dot. Hmm. Oh, my phone is charging. Alright, on to 2. Twin explosives environment. Dark 13. Tone alone. Case summary. Daily suggests a visit to the library that he must have been seeing a strange storm gathering over at start investigation. Tone alone. Postman. The technical says the page that what's the face counter theory question fill me in. Officer says face question no counter have some healthy books to drop out. The uniform says so that was strange prospects don't evolve the goal has nothing to do with why will be a question. Officer says technically says this is a library that or a helpful way that definitions of linear exchange point. Often says now security says how many cases do we need to solve on the agent to get a call that doesn't leak in the rain? Technically says it keeps us fresh, sharp, and even, but Tiger. Stu says he's got to break. Comfortable that. Not very often they should at least be able to learn relatively something. Detective Green says his player gets a riot and solve the mayor effect for one question that officers said that proves that Thomas said that Stu says fines question mark for being late question mark or books late it's question mark it's not like they have places to be. Librarian Doris says you're not charming your way out of this, Patrick. That rules are rules. Our story says, can't we come to some kind of agreement? Question. Stu says, do you have any parking tickets you want to see go by? Question. So typically, do it, or are you trying to bribe your way out of a fine? Our story says, no, question mark. Librarian Doris says, here's an arrangement for you. I'll drop your fines if you arrest that troublesome kid. Detective McQueen says, kid, question mark. Librarian Doris says, the one who's responsible for the storm, that in question, you know, the ghost, that Detective McQueen says, ghost, question mark, what, question mark. Okay, clicking the light. Yes, Detective McQueen says, these brownout seems like they'd make for frustrating reading conditions. Science board. Detective McQueen says, a science librarian Doris says, shh, exclamation point. Detective McQueen says, click the library doors. What were you saying about ghost? Question mark. Librarian Doris says, the place is haunted, you know, comma, the usual stuff. Detective McQueen, the usual question mark. Librarian Doris says, flickering lights, comma, floating books, comma, strange noises, comma, eerie purple storms. Librarian Doris says, it's chasing off the wheels. Detective McQueen says, and you say a kid is to blame? Question mark. Librarian Doris says, he's the only one here often enough to suspiciously often, comma, if you ask me. Detective McQueen says, I'll look into it. Librarian Doris says, do, comma, or else I'll call a pair of odd and comma slash mark O and O a question mark ghost flashing star to come fix this dot. What books did you borrow? Did Dolly borrow? Question mark. Librarian Door says he has rules too. Wave to dot dot dot. Librarian Door says dot dot dot. Roswell, New Mexico dot dot. Where the aliens will experiment on us dot dot dot. Librarian Door says dot dot dot. And the law, what it's it, and do we really need it? Question mark. Mostly says, hey, what happened to the librarian? We use privilege? Question mark. Detective McQueen says, no, I will thing by dot. I take it you gave up on the law book? Question mark. Mostly says, dot dot, not enough pictures dot. I think I missed something. Okay, what's that you're reading? Question. Librarian Door says, guy like dot. The heartbreaking tale of a girl who falls in love with a forest vampire. Detective McQueen says, of what now? And Door says, a forest vampire. He can only come out during the day. Detective McQueen says, dot dot dot. Librarian Doris, I'm at the part where it's her prom night, and he promised to take her, but the clocks went forward, and now it's on a night! Exclamation point. Detective McQueen, what happened if he goes out at night? Question mark. Doris says he gets really sleepy. Detective McQueen says sounds dot dot dot. Interesting? Question mark. Asks Julie, what? Question mark. It sounds awful. Kind of detective. Exclamation point. Detective McQueen says dot dot dot. Librarian Doris says dot dot dot. Goodbye. Librarian Doris says, if you need anything else, come. I'll be here. Dot unless I dot 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 dot. Clicking the books. Detective McQueen says, is this your to-read pile? Question mark. Librarian Doris says, oh, come, I've read all those dot. The desk is missing a leg, so I'm using them to balance out the computer dot. Click the plant. Detective McQueen says, from a certain angle, it looks like a dude has crazy hair. Dot. Off. Okay, go back to the lab. Okay. Clicking Officer Dooley, Detective McQueen says, I thought you found owning books suspicious? Question mark. Officer Dooley says, it is that. What kind of secret stuff are you reading that you can't get it from your local library? Question mark. Detective McQueen says, maybe people just like having their own books? Question mark. Maybe it's a John issue. Officer Dooley says, James Smith, question mark. You really will believe anything Hollywood tells you. Going to the office. Select the computer. Detective McQueen says the computer seems to be broken. Officer says it's not broken. It's all so they can store my books in it. The servers cut office supplies. Detective McQueen says, never know when I'll need to cut something in half. A lazy approximation of the half. You received scissors. Clicking the scissors. Detective McQueen says, scissors safe for cutting, not safe for writing with. You can't move. Clicking Officer Dooley. Officer Dooley says, I really enjoy the access to secret areas. This job gets us more staff only, question. Not on our watch, exclamation point. Clicking the lamp. Detective McQueen says even the lamp is flickering. Clicking the calendar. Officer says, I got this for Doris last time I had to get out of paying fees that I'm gonna have to up the ante this time. Wow. Clicking the photocopier, the McQueen says, an old photocopier. Can't imagine this gets much use. Officer says, oh, come on, it does. When you renew your card each year, Doris takes a photocopy of your butt for the records. The McQueen says, everyone's butt? Question. Officer says, just mine. Now that I think of it, Detective McQueen says, that's a price for working out. I guess that. Clicking the bin. Detective McQueen says, roses are red, violets are blue. Your learning rights are revoked due to your books overdue. Clicking the coat hanging. Detective McQueen says, looks like some of these coats have been here for years. Officer says, we should go through the pockets. Detective McQueen says, Officer, you know, for evidence. You received and I'm a button, clicking the button. Detective McQueen says a button from an old coat dash great evidence, comma, Dooley dot. It was called coat rack. Okay, facing Rectory, going in the elevator. Detective McQueen says in your elevator, where is the staircase? Question. Librarian door says we have none. There was a file, and ironically, the fire escape was the only thing that was destroyed. Detective McQueen says dot dot dot. Officer says I click on Officer Dooley. Officer says I get why they're called elevators when they're going up. The officer says but shouldn't they be called descenders when they go down? Question. We'll go into forceful. Okay, go back in the body. Go back to elevator. We go to insightful, sci-fi, and fantasy children. Click on the statue. Officer says, "Don't blink!" Exclamation point. Yeah. Click on the plant. Detective McQueen says, "What are leaves that plants pass?" Dot. Officer Dooley says, "That question mark, that's just the dead tree where Doris dries her stockings." Dot. Click Officer Dooley. Officer Dooley says, "What did the rabbi and the priest talk about in the library?" Question mark. Detective McQueen says, "I don't know." Dot. Officer says, "Nothing but libraries are a place of quiet, comma, respect, and salute, comma, which they were both respecting." Dot. Detective McQueen says, "You need to work on your stand-up material." Dot dot dot. We're going to the children's section. Little Devon says, "What about this one? The words are short, and I think I can read your book from one cover to the next cover." Dot. Mysterious figure says dot dot dot. Devon. Oh, comma. Is that suitable for my age range, comma? Question mark. Vaughn says, "Okay, comma, I'll try it. I hope I like it because I read a lot of books about boys and wizards and talking dogs in here." Dot. After says, "Who you talking to, comma, kid?" Question mark. Vaughn, "I'm not telling you anything. Dot. I've heard what happens to people who do a snitch. Dot. Detective McQueen says more media is really making our job hard. Dot, dot, dot. Clicking the robot. Detective McQueen says, I hope I get to have a pet robot someday. Dot. Officer says, Jimmy responses dash feeding it, loving its belly, teaching it to love the humanity. Dot, dot, dot. Detective McQueen says, why would you teach it that question? Officer says, I want to be on the good side when the inevitable happens. Dot, dot, dot. Clicking train. Officer says, at bars of trains and trains that not always taking the better than everyone because they're up in the air. Dot, dot, dot. Clicking the books. Detective McQueen says, why your parents don't love you. Clicking Officer Billy says, nobody, not one person home needs kids to be talking like there is somebody visible in the room with them. Dot. Clicking the AB bios. Officer Billy A B C D dash as easy as 4, 5, 6. Dot. Detective McQueen says dot, dot, dot. Vent. Detective McQueen says there's a cold draft coming from the vent dash that can't be good for this kid's health. Dot. Clicking the floating book. Detective McQueen says, well, dot, that's not right. Dot. Officer says, neat trick. Dot. What magic book did you learn from that, kid? Question mark. Devon says, it's not magic. It's dot, 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 dot. Devon says, dot, 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 nothing, dot. Clicking the tag. Detective McQueen says, you look familiar, dash. Have I arrested you for a question? It's in the house. Clicking the Viewmaster. Officer Dooley says, a Viewmaster question mark. I loved those as a kid. Dot. Detective McQueen says, I'll take this and see if I can find a use. Officer says, it's times like these that I was walking the beat. You should buy a Viewmaster. Clicking the Viewmaster. Detective McQueen says, an old film viewing toy. Dot. Dinosaur. Detective McQueen says, the dust is wrong. Remember this. That comma makes me think it was moved recently. Clicking the books. Detective Queen says bad baby and sits a wire. Going back to the hallway. Clicking sci-fi / fantasy. Swords and shields. Clicking it. Our story says if we live in medieval times, we'd be living in the adventures of ye Darkside Detective and his squire Dooley. Clicking in fantasy books. Detective McQueen says Gollum tells of the sad adventure. Clicking Officer Dooley. Officer Dooley says, I never understood this section. How can something be fiction and science? Detective McQueen says, I don't know what to do with you sometimes. Officer Dooley says, get me a raise? Clicking a chessboard. Detective McQueen says, what a great game. Yeah, Officer says, yeah, fine looking at Drott's pieces, though, Detective McQueen says, Clicking the library code. Detective McQueen says, how convenient, I'd have expected to go through a series of similar logical puzzles to get this. You receive an old library card. Clicking the library card. Detective McQueen says the library card of one of smug faces to Paul Conway. Clicking the sci-fi books. Detective McQueen says fantastic orbit. Giant and moonlight, shadowed by her own. Okay. Clicking the rocket. Says I wanted to be an astronaut when I was younger. Then I found out that they had to go into space. No thanks, karma. That's where aliens live! Exclamation point. Detective McQueen says, looks like some of the rocket's aluminum is coming off. That could be useful. You received a mail strip. Click the mail strip. Detective McQueen says, 10 sheets of foil. Clicking the hallway. Clicking the elevator. Clicking the waiting room hobby. Clicking Officer Dooley. Officer, do you have one brown coat you wear all the time, or a wardrobe full of the same style? Question mark. Clicking the painting, officer says, Festa Lido Library, Ambassador of the Library. Detective McQueen says, nope, not one word of that is true. Gonna hobby that slash DIY. Clicking hobby books. Detective McQueen says, join duct tape in Japan. That make your nervous system I don't see why we're sticking around here. Detective McQueen says, you couldn't wait until I picked up the blue to say that, no? Question mark. Officer says, sometimes I feel like you don't see me as anything more than a ha dash ha sidekick American. Detective McQueen says he looks like he's jumping. Officer says you'd jump too if somebody showed a car of you behind. Clicking the paintings. Detective McQueen says, wait a minute, these are printouts of children's art. Officer says, look, a Mr. Mailbag's deep pocket stuff rich enough that he can pay child artists for original works. This guy. Officer says, geez. Clicking blue. Detective McQueen says, somebody seems to have left some glue here. It's no duct tape, but it could be useful. You receive it now. Glue. Clicking pots and brushes. Detective McQueen says, why are these fake? Question mark. Officer says, well, you can't have kids paying over the books. DIY books. Detective McQueen says, how to DIY yourself. Officer says, I'm really good at DIY. Officer says, I get my sister to do it for me. Okay, come back to the phone. Going to reading. Detective McQueen says, oh, hello, man. Yes, I wasn't expecting anyone to be here, but Wax, oh, hello, my name is Wax, Axel says, I'm here to study the strange goings dash on. I guess that's why you're here too, Detective question. Detective McQueen says, oh, Sure, that's me, always investigating stuff, on purpose, Detective McQueen says, want to share what you've found? Question. Max says, well, it's not much, but there seems to be a strange concentration of energy in the next room. Max says, I'm searching the interest for a way to be able to see whatever it actually is. Detective Queen says, well, let me know if you find anything. Okay. Clicking Officer Dooley. Detective Queen says, you look uncomfortable, Dooley. Officer Dooley says, it's this whole waiting room thing. Officer Dooley says, I mean, should we be waiting right now? Question. Officer says, can I not wait anyone else? Question. Officer says, does the room itself read? Question. Officer says, and if so, what does it read? Question. Detective McQueen says, you have a special mind, Dearly. Officer says, Chief Scully says, that's why she assigned me to your department. Detective McQueen says, who doesn't need a chalkboard in the 21st century? Question. Officer Billy says, a future question. Detective McQueen says, a fair point. Clicking Max's books. Detective McQueen says, I hope there's nothing contraband in this pile. Max says, I wish! Exclamation point. Detective McQueen says, Max says, you know what I mean. Clicking Max says, so ghost hunting, air detectives? Question mark. Detective McQueen says, that's classified. Max says, cause there is a whole bunch of eerie mumbo jumbo going on here. Detective McQueen says, so you've noticed, then, question mark. Max says, I'm majoring in the occult at TLU. Detective McQueen says, you can do that? Question mark. I thought all that stuff was banned? Question mark. Rex says, somebody has a catalog and ban it all, Detective Detective McQueen says, "Why, dot, dot, dot." Max says, "It's all fairly hush, dash, hush, dot." Detective McQueen says, "So what does one study with occultism? Question mark." Max says, "Whatever you want, dot. I went with computer science, so I wouldn't be studying too impractical subjects, dot." Detective McQueen says, "Good call, Baxter. From experience, I can tell you that it also doesn't pay much, dot, dot, dot." Clicking the clock, Detective McQueen says, "Time always seems to stand still in boring places like libraries, dot." Clicking the microfilm room, clicking Officer Dooley. Officer says, "Do you think there is such a thing as megafilm? Question mark. Clicking the filing cabinets. Officer says, "Why would anyone have so many filings that they need a cabinet to store them in?" Question mark. Clicking the microfilm wheel. Detective McQueen says, "It's broken, but if I want to look at a microfilm camera, I'll need to find another way to do so, dot." Clicking the box of microfilm, Detective McQueen says, comma, "It's radiating energy, like Baxter said, dot. I think that may be a clue, dot, possibly, dot." Detective McQueen says, "There's just too much here to take, dot. Even my pockets have their limits, dot." Clicking the computer, the Detective McQueen says, "Let's see what we can find online, dot." Exclamation mark. You didn't say the magic code in the password. Detective McQueen says, "Looks like I need to figure out the password, dot." Try to move the code thing, library card to the computer. Detective McQueen says, "Come on, Frankie, come. You can do better than that." Exclamation point. Come back to reading room. Cracks it. Let's see anything new. Okay, clicking door full. Clicking the elevator. Click the fourth floor hole. Detective McQueen says, "The button for the fourth floor is missing, dot." Also says, "Telchophobia." Detective McQueen says, "Telchophobia? Question mark." Officer says, fear of numbers denote willful thought. It's quite common for buildings in China to be missing to denote the full floor thought. Detective Queen says, but the full floor is there. Just the button is missing. Officer says, oh yeah. Detective Queen says, and we're not in China. Officer says, you have all the answers, don't you? Question mark. What if I move the button to the broken button? Detective Queen says, I don't have the skill to wire up a normal button. Never mind. This one. Hmm. I prefer to. I'm going to see if the librarian doors. There's the code. Okay. Your elevator is broken. There's no button for the full floor. Librarian door says, yup. I hope you don't want to read any horror books. Detective Queen says, well, I would like to be able to go there. Librarian door says, oh, well then, sorry, I guess. Can I have the internet password, please? Question mark. Librarian door says, and give you access to all my juicy manuscripts? Question mark. No chance. Detective Queen says, doors, I need that password for my investigation. Librarian Door says, and I need those books kept safe until my genius sparkles. So, no. Dot. Librarian Door says, if you need anything else, I'll be here. Unless I'm not. Okay, this is the tech box of microphone. It says, Detective McQueen says, well, I've destroyed some historical material, but let's hope there was a point to this. Let's see if I can put a few minutes to it. Okay, it says, Detective McQueen says, well, it fits. Let's look at what I didn't accidentally chop out of Twin Lakes recent history. Spider moths do it again. Detective McQueen says, do it again. Sounds like they were on some kind of winning streak, instead of having burnt down yet another stadium. Major staff cuts at City Library. Detective McQueen says budgetary cutbacks have seen the local library reduced to a skeleton staff. The officer says, I know Doris is old, but that seems a bit unfair. Detective McQueen says, it means very few people work here. Officer says, oh, yeah, just Doris now, and she's actually a retired volunteer. Detective McQueen says, tough times. Computer stock goes up, down, down, left, right, left, right, B, A, Detective McQueen says, I shouldn't have read that out loud, I think I may have just summoned something. Crackpot detective claims teenagers' tags were ritual meant to shun the dead that walk among us. Detective Queen says, I remember this case. Detective McQueen says, dot, dot, dot. What? The exclamation point? Question mark. Detective McQueen says, question mark. Hello? Dot, dot, dot. Who are you and how did you get here? Question mark. Austere Carl Valley. I am that which can never be unseen, the ooze from your nightmares, the know of the unknown. Dot. Detective McQueen says, right, dot. That's not very helpful if I'm honest. Dot. Still Chloe says, hope is there for those that know how to take it. Dot. Detective McQueen says, dot, dot, dot. Okay, then, dot. I'll buy it. Dot. Tell me, come on, oh, know of the unknown. Come on, what's going on here? Question mark. After Palmer says, dot, 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 I, comma, yeah, comma, don't rightly know. Dot. Detective McQueen says, right, dot. After Palmer says, but I do know that the cloud use is protecting the hidden moon power, one that holds vast power and treasures. Dot. Sister Crowley says, no doubt that which is responsible for the spiritual summoning of myself and the others lies within. Dot, dot, dot. Detective Creed says, the others question mark. Master Conway says, the others dot. Master says, Detective dot, dot, dot. Who are you talking to? Question mark. Detective McQueen says, I'm talking to dot, dot, dot. You know what? Comment. I don't even know how to explain this. Dot. Griffin Colley. Detective McQueen says, what was all that again? Question mark. Officer Carter says, yeast, still mad power within, we cool, go, question mark. Detective McQueen says, we're cool. Dot. Yeast. WB Lee says, play soul at a moment of your time, question mark. Detective McQueen says, another one, question mark. WB Yeast, no, question mark. Comma, no spirit, dot, yes, dot. Then with your question, comma, you have answered my own. Dot. Detective McQueen says, huh? Question mark. WB Yeast, forgive me, comma, but I wish to know if you have seen, comma, on your travels, comma, that scoundrel Corey. Dot. Detective McQueen says, forcibly mysterious man in a silly hat. Question mark. WB says, the very same. Dot. I knew you walked here, but someone. Dot. Detective Queen says he mentioned a hidden room? Question. Toby used yes, comma, but on the now, comma, I shall say no more. Dot, not until the beast is gone. Dot. Detective Queen says, but I just wanted dash. Toby used not a word more. So, not a word more. Exclamation point. So you used again, I say that you and I so common shall not control nor corrupts away a slip of my tongue. Okay, click Carly. Detective McQueen says, I met your friend used he says you won't stop spying on him. Master Crowley says, I find it most joyous to torment the man. Detective McQueen says, he says you want into that room you mentioned. Master Crowley says, I do. I'm most bored here. I need something to do. Something to do. Detective McQueen says, why not use that computer to go on? Master Crowley says, 2 words. Safe search. Detective says, oh, maybe I can find some kind of a workaround. Question. Master Crowley says, please. Detective McQueen says, just stay here and don't do anything. Make sure you go back to the waiting room. See if Baxter has anything new. Detective McQueen says, Baxter, question, you mentioned you were looking for stuff on the internet. How did you get past the internet blockers? Question. He says, up to something I, detective question. Detective McQueen says, me question, no, but I have this friend who needs to get past the library firewall. Asha says that's quite well protected. Surprisingly, I think Doris was worried somebody would hack into steal her unpublished fan fiction. She says, but I figured out the admin password so I can bypass the block. Detective Creed says, Action says, want me to give it to you so you can use it to question. Detective Creed says, please, you see, admin password. Detective McQueen says, let's see what we can find online. Password. Detective McQueen says, looks like I need to figure out the password. Okay, dragging admin password to computer. Detective McQueen says, now Carly should be able to browse to his heart's content. I'll let him know. Detective McQueen, click Carly. Detective McQueen says, okay, I've set it up so you should be able to browse wherever you want. Carly, no restrictions. As a Carly says, excellent, but you question you you may not want to stick around for this start. Technical says, alright, cover that. I'll leave you to your business, so that Isaiah Crowley, Alistair Crowley says, shut the door on the way out. The Reese says, did I sense question? Yes, the beast's eyes are focused elsewhere. The air is clear now. Captain Queen says, clear is maybe not the term I'd use, but Davy says, come again, so question mark. Next Queen says, never mind, just don't go into that room if you can avoid it. The BE says, as you suggest. Detective Queen says, now that what's all this about? They hear again question. The BE says, I'll share what I can. There is a place hidden behind the horror section on the fourth floor. WBE says the source of the plasma pollution afflicting this building is within. Detective McQueen says, how do I get in? Question. WB East. One of the books in the L section is a leaf bullet and fix this. Godspeed. Detective McQueen says, hear that daily question? Officer says, hear what question? Detective McQueen says, oh yes, of course, we need to get to the fourth floor, and open the secret room using one of the books in the L section. Officer Dooley says, wait, how do you know all of this? Question. Detective McQueen says, intuition? Question. Sci-fi fantasy. One says, I think you should read this one, but I read this one and thought it was good. It's the story of this kid who can see the people that, and Bruce says, "Oh, Mama, that's not for me. Dash, I'm scared of ghosts." And Blyton says, "I feel I find myself in the company of a wild, vengeful bunch that fosters in lots of them." Detective Queen says, "The kid question?" Edward says, "No, he's trying that mean the Irish outfits, horror wires, and DIY fanatics that horrors, the lot of them that." Okay, go back to horror, go to elevator, go back to reading and hobby, go back to hobby dash DIY. Okay, the queen says, "Are you an author too, question mark? I don't recognize you, dot dot dot." Gail Pinkman, a comma, but not like young toughs with their literary fiction. Dot. Gail Pinkman says, "I wrote useful stuff, comma, like house dash wiring and how to do plumbing." Dot. Queen says, "Think you could fix the elevator?" Question. Gail Pickman says, "Well, right here I could, hey, but I need a new button, mine thought." Okay, I'll be right back. Go back to full, go into elevator, go into sci-fi and fantasy children 2, sci-fi and fantasy. I just want to go ahead and go there before I continue the story. Cut to Pratchett's. Detective Queen says, "Oh, hey, big fan of your work." Officer Dooley says, "Thanks, exclamation point." Detective Queen says, "Not you, dot dot dot." Officer Dooley says, dot dot dot, "Oh, dot." Detective Queen says, "I read your detective books like monthly over the top." Okay, going back to everything. Going back to reading Harvey. Going back to the DIY room. Talk to Gail. Okay, I'm going to hand over the button. Gail says, "What's all this for?" Question. Detective Queen says, "Could you use this button to fix the elevator?" Question. Gail Pinkman says, "I can, but won't do nothing that needs to be conductive to make serpents hope that giving her more strips of those." Taking no, give her a library card. No? No, sure? No? No? I moved another thing to the button, and the Tech McQueen says this should make the button conductive. You see the conductive button says the button cannot conduct electricity. And again, the McQueen says could this button replace the broken one in the elevator? Which one? Yeah, McQueen says let me see. That looks like it'll do job. Just a few minutes to pop it in place. Dolphin, over. Technically says that's for fixing the elevator. Come again, that the technically says happy to help, but it will find being somewhat useful. And that, okay, we're gonna go to reception first. Gonna go to the office. Okay, there's nothing there. Go back to elevator. Clicking the fourth floor. Hall. Master says, "Oh look, Doris must have finally fixed the elevator button." Technically says, "No, it was, it was, never mind, Right, clicking the book cart. Technically says, a collection of books that doesn't seem to fit anywhere else in the library, like how to cook a dinosaur. If you ever catch one, um, the queen says, the only in Earth the effective queen says, agriculture of the mind by Sarah Bloom. The queen says, and MMO accounts be the fictional banker we always knew you were. Clicking the window. Officer says, looks like you can get to the roof through here. Technically queen says, thankfully it's out, but I'd rather not go back out in that storm. Clicking Officer Dooley. Officer says, that's one heck of a view from the city. Detective McQueen says, I can't see anything through these few messes. Officer Dewey says, I won't tell anyone if you want to take it off. Detective McQueen says, I will come, but not just yet. Clicking the hole. Edgar Allan Poe. You barely make teenage girls whimper, Harry H.P. Lovecraft only because they cannot found they dread by conjure, A. H. P. Lovecraft says you play on common clinches, your patron feels like true for dash at best spooky dot Ego Allen Poe says best works aren't even written by you. Children exclamation point 5 exclamation point I'm dead trickster exclamation point H dot P dot Lovecraft says if you feel that way, then why did you hide my work, A question mark. Edgar Allan Poe again I say, I do not have your book. H. P. Lovecraft, you probably hid it because it was too scary for you. Edgar Allan Poe, exclamation point, you're an infuriating man. Oh, okay, clicking the candle. Technically says these are one of a aspect fire hazard. Clicking ADP books. Technically says from access to zero option a Morse plan. Safety. Technically says the dead person knows. There's a bunch of books. JH, man, a bunch of places. Technically, school. Technically says, I'm not shocked to find there was just something nasty hidden down this. I just need to figure out a way of opening it up. J. Technically says, kill exclamation point K to L. Technically says, the book yeast engine is missing. Pastor says, I didn't know you were a fan of Lovecraft, question mark. Technically Queen says, question mark. You're looking at Lovecraft section a bit too complex for my taste. Technically says, I wonder if domestic book is known how we can tell, question mark. And then Actually, says more to P. The Judge Queen says they ping give us ping for that candle. Q to own. The Queen says the quirky killings. S to T. Judge Queen says steadfast. V I U to W. Which says the underground. It's the Z. They use the works in the phone. Click on text clean. What's on here? Front. I go down home. I didn't take his plastic book that it was that Charles Python one. But why don't you tell him that question? Oh shit. I go down home. He will not listen to me. That he's convinced I hit it, so more people would buy my books over his. And so nonsense that I care not for his current Zeitgeist.com. My works are vastly superior to clicking Lovecraft. H.P. Lovecraft says he is being such a child! Exclamation point. H.P. Lovecraft says I am clearly the greater for a while. H.P. Lovecraft says I took up the minds of a generation with my artistic whole that playground whole over aesthetic publish that H.P. Lovecraft says what I'll have you make exclamation playground posters permanently you sickly troll. Technical says you two expression stop it. Or I'll put you both in some kind of supernatural scenario. H.P. Lovecraft says playground program says restart. H.P. Lovecraft says oh I never I searched for it was you and your dash. Like the Queen says after he started I'm putting a stop to it right here but the Queen says and not a P. What's that you're reading? No, eyes the window on the roof locked. I ran doors for health and safety reasons. The Queen says get can I get the key? Question. The door says play no. The Queen says no. I question. Heading Doris we have consecutive regions start. Twist questions. What if I copy the old Bible? Excuse me, guys, did you still love this book? Question. Advice says he and that poor fellow won't stop fighting over which one has the more frightful book. Edwin Byron says, I took his book in the hopes it would stop the arguing. Detective McQueen says, it seems to have just made it worse. Byron says, welcome, I shall give it back until they stop the flickering. It's just a Detective McQueen says, how am I meant to stop those two fighting freshmen? Byron says, that is not my concern, but you want this book. You stop the fight. Detective McQueen says, there's got to be a scarier book than there's around here. Surely that would stop their bickering. Detective McQueen says, can you see the ghost to rescue? Steve says, yes, what mountains are you pulling his head through? Detective question. Edwin says, I see them question. They are my friends, though. This one is not. Some of them are less friendly. Levon says, but I like them because before they came, the place was empty. Just me and Doris, and she's all interested in reading the Montes Dreyfus books I've written. Technique says, thanks for your help with that complex stuff. Axel says, no problem, happy to help. Came in with all break it. He says, Nancy says, what do you need to make a thing? He says, there's nothing to talk about. I desktop but doesn't show on the library's usage bill. Da, da, da. Princess, I'd like to wear that book you're reading. The Angel says you need a library card to buy books that different princess like this one. The Angel says like this one. Yes, that princess are good. The Angel says, but not this one. That it's not your face. That's not even your face on it. That the princess. Dot dot dot. And the princess casts out from punishment. The doses da da da. Now can introduce you in a book to help. SOZ. The princess. Do can I use your book? The band says it still has feelings Honesty says, I bet you wish you'd let me make a deal now. Punishment. The Queen says, that. I didn't read all that. The Queen said, I put the glue onto the picture. It says, the Queen says, I feel like I'm back in kindergarten class. You see the sticky thing. The picture onto the lobby girl says the Queen says, this is going to be the release of some fake ID. Used to the fake ID card. Going back to the shirt screen. Fake ID card. The Queen says, I'd like to borrow that book you're reading about. Library door says, you need a library card to borrow this book. Books that the Queen says, like this one? Question. Librarian door says, oh, how about that? The store says, well then that either how that Australia says Paul question mark. His name is dash dash. The Queen says, my name is Paul. That like it says on the card. My card that Paul comma Paul that Librarian door says dot. We received an trashy novel. Click it and it says detective. The Queen says Miles Stephen's before screenplay novel that God like that. The Queen says even though it makes me ill that. Okay. If go back to the story and go back talking to him, bring it over to Poe. Lovecraft H. P. Lovecraft says, is this my book? Question. H. P. Lovecraft says, no comment, it is not. Big Poe says, what is question? Second Queen says, the most horrific novel ever written. But it's not written by either of you, but Big Poe says, let me see that. But Poe says, teenage girl, dash blah 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 dash reverse vampire dash blah 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 dash love story H dot P dot Lovecraft. It sounds terrifying. Edgar Poe says its mere existence gives me shivers. Detective Queen says, "Do you agree it's more horrific than your books?" Will you stop squabbling? Edgar Allan Poe says, "Agreed?" H. P. Lovecraft says, "Agreed?" Edgar Allan Poe says, "Can you believe something so hideous exists?" H. P. Lovecraft says, "Can you believe it's so popular?" Edgar Poe says, "Stoical must be trying and his grave." H. P. Lovecraft says, "I hope the poor champ doesn't know." Detective Queen says, "Well, comma, they're gone now, but back to find the books that opens the circle, comma, I guess that." Detective Queen says, "I click revenues." Detective Queen says, "I've gotten them to agree on this scariest book. Can I have that novel now?" Writing good. I don't see why you'd want this far down, comma, but I did promise that you should also do this as all you unite the kids version, comma, detective Lovecraft's novel." Detective says, Detective McQueen says, "The indescribable waiting things that indescribable dash sounds all right. with that ambition. I used the Lovecraft's books, and notes. Detective McQueen says, "Here goes nothing, Doc." Detective McQueen says, "That seemed to fit with a curious clicking noise, Doc." I click it, and it says, Detective McQueen says, "What kind of report is this?" And dot dot dot. Ooh, door opens. Detective McQueen says, "Welcome, there's the hidden door. Yeast and Crowley were talking about dot dot dot." Officer Dewey says, "Creepy doorways are recurring motif. I'm not too fond of dot dot dot." Detective McQueen says, "Let me guess, Dash staying here to cover me again?" Officer Dewey says, "You got it in one, Dash." Detective McQueen says, "Try to avoid getting knocked out this time, dot dot dot." Officer Dewey says, dot dot dot. Clicking spooky door. Detective McQueen says, "What is question? What is for this question?" Detective McQueen says, "Magica flash outside value prescribed to the proper wizard game." Detective McQueen says, "The guards don't sky to doors and ghosts." Detective McQueen says, "Rituals for non-rituals." Detective McQueen says, "These were contraband outfit books." Detective McQueen says, "This is quite the massive treasure trove, but why don't I know about this stuff?" Or books? No? Okay, books. Detective McQueen says, "The milkman and the cycle and cookbook." Suppose writing. Detective McQueen says, "Those loose writing seems one the roof topic." Butcher book. Detective McQueen says, "A copy of the plays cast it or not, dot. It seems to be open on the Sanskrit's page, dot." Detective McQueen says, "Maybe if I close it, this whole mess will sort itself out." McQueen says, "Seems to be charged by the faulty wiring, dot." Detective McQueen says, "I wonder where it goes, dot dot dot." Clicking this back. Detective McQueen says, "What a strange thing to find here, dot." Detective McQueen says, "No library for this, dot." You sit there and stay. Next, Detective McQueen says, "The periodic table of secret magic elements." Clicking event. Detective McQueen says, "A small hole, dot. I don't fit, but maybe it can drop something down to see where it lands. Punishment. Detection Queen says, I hope this helps. I do the scrape in the hole there. Don't crash. The Detection Queen says, now to find the dot. The Queen says, hopefully without having caused any damage. And Shell Tech Queen says, so Donald, what are you doing here, Krishna? Mary Shelley, like the moth to a flame, I am drawn to the which energies made from this book. Tech Queen says, question. Mary Shelley, I like spooky books and electricity. Mary Shelley, I either break candles up to up the spook dash. I think it's gonna be on kids' screen. Better indoors. What's all this noise, Krishna? I can't hear myself with exclamation point. Technically says so kid what do you know about the other side of the vent, Krishna? The demon says I didn't mean to do it. Technically says do what, Krishna? The one says I was only so I won't explain that and found all these new books. The one says, but the one I read was very scary and I ran off. The one says, then the ghosts were that, but I like them cause now I have friends that the comedian says, see, there's one he might know that. I've been there since 12 express point, posting exclamation point, breaking in exclamation point. Detective McQueen says, into your room of elite cool bookstore. Librarian Doris says, Detective Queen says, let's say both set of charges cancel each other out. Librarian Doris says, only if you get rid of the ghost and find him somewhere else to go once in a while. Exclamation point. Subsidy says, you can join me in the blood wolves exclamation point. Talk to me. He says, blood wolves question mark. She says, the mayor stopped paying the DYB-DYB-DYB so we had to change it from Scouts. Detective Queen says, "You okay with that, comma kid? Question mark." Queen says, "Short exclamation point." Detective Queen says, "That's great, comma, but back to the task at hand." Detective Queen says, "We need to stop when falling into a building and into that book that Rainbow said you'll need to get to the riding conductor on Earth. But here, have the key. Dot. Detective Queen says, "Dooley, we'll go onto the roof." Dot. Ashley says, "But it's raining outside." Dot, dot, dot. We received a roof key. Okay, looks like we're going to the roof. Actually, Biden says, "You dropped a skull on me." Exclamation point. Detective Queen says, "Do you? Dot, dot, dot." Helen Biden says, "You'll pay for this." Exclamation point. How? Dot, dot, dot. How? Dot, dot, dot. Send goblins around to poke you in your sleep. I'll have a pixie steal your mail. I'll get brownies too. Dot, dot, two. Dot, dot, two. Dot, dot. And that says, dot, dot, expletive on your lawn. Dot, exclamation point. Detective McQueen says, "Well, exclamation point, calm down, comma, play, exclamation point." Fighting reverse. Liberian Door says, "Get rid of the storm and ghosts and we can forget all about the kids' escapes." But home, elevator, window. Detective Queen says, "I really hoped it wouldn't come to this." Alright, bringing the roof key over to the window. Detective Queen says, "Sigh, here we go." Austin says, "I suppose I've already ducked out of one room this case. I knew I played that card too soon." Detective McQueen says, "You did, buddy. You did." They're taking the wiring. Detective says, "Move that wiring from the secret room and it leads to the roof." Taking Officer Jules and says, says, "This is why I end up with OKC. Every time I bring a book back home, I end up on the roof in the rain." Who wouldn't avoid that? Question. Action says, dot, 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 question. Oscar says, "I get back to adventures when you're not around." You know that. Detective Queen says, "I never back home." Oscar says, "I don't just cease to be cause I see the things I having a night in." Dot. says but dash dash. Officer says Darkside Detective dash but should be called the Ocular Officer. Dark Officer says dot. Officer says probably the best dash Detective, which means a scared of expression. After good says no, dot. After says that, yes, that. After the feeling says that, it looks like it's getting I hope this works. Sometimes they wonder if the people of the twin lakes know how often they say that they can actually do things. I've never said an actual bacon, but actually says I got a fat man bacon out of a tree once, but technically says an example to us all that really felt second following. So it's protections, so sometimes I wonder if people the same thing. So the attorney, which means like the introduces the counsel here, but it's too powerful today to explain. After he says this one, like there's a right short explanation. Which means attention box. Like you can say what do I need to do different. After he says get the experience coffee different. The king says dot. The first thing king says this. The second is connecting from it transfers to a the king says I guess I should take that second. While we still long like say how I sign together. Technical Queen says, ouch! Exclamation point, my hand! Exclamation point. Foster said, look, detective, the storm is dying out. Thought, imagine that, exclamation point. Technical says, okay, we should be able to close the book now. Thought, now that sky has cleared up, it's quite a nice night. Thought, clicking the moon. Technical Queen says, what are you at, looking up there behind the storm? Question mark. Technical Queen says, Trixie Moon. Calm down. Going back inside. I should close the book before I go talk to Doorstep. That book. Officer Dooley trunks filled, detective I don't see why we had to take all of those books. Detective McQueen says Julie that they're contraband. Officer Dooley says heavy contraband. Detective McQueen says Detective McQueen says we've got an agreement on Doris question mark. Byron Doris, you don't find me for having the books. I don't sue the kid for entering the vault. I go back to business. Sans dash haunting. Technical Queen says you should also get that wiring fixed. That Ivanko says fine. Exclamation point. Technical Queen says, come on, Dooley, let's get back to the office. Good one says, see you at camp, Mr. Dooley, exclamation point. Dooley says, see you there, Devon, exclamation point. Case closed. Yeah, right on, babe. I might continue this one. Been streaming for 2 hours. Hold on, let me make it towards 40. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56,